Hey y'all. So, about last night, Temptation Island, episode 10, the final Bonfire, part 1. Um, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before I forget. Um, yeah, so Chelsea and Blake, I really hope that she leaves with him. I actually really hope that they would have had sex or had just a little bit more of an intimate moment. I think it would have maybe secured her decision in leaving Tom. I mean, I don't even care if she stays with Dr. Blake. I just want her to leave Tom because Tom's over in the other house telling Sophia, no matter what, you're still going to be in my life. How is that going to work? The woman whose butt you smacked, you're still going to stay friends with her while you're in a relationship with the woman you supposedly love. This is the whole reason you were there, Tom, like to show her that you could, just stop flirting so much. And, that's quite the opposite. So I don't think that she would take very well to you and Sophia still, being in each other's life. But I kind of think he's full of it. I think that those are just words to kind of secure, have a safety net possibly. Um, Yeah, because I think that like I don't really know if Tom likes her. I think he just likes the idea of something new and something fresh. And yeah, I don't really see much else that Sophia gives him. Yes, she comforted him, but I mean that was her job there to try to take him. But I really don't think that even if he did, they did have a relationship or start something after this, I don't think that it would last because the same flirting that he does or did, he's not changing. He's still going to continue to do it. So it's going to be very rare that you find a woman who is okay with you flirting. And networking and flirting is two totally different things. So Aaron and Jawan, the whole time that she was, talking to Jawan, I always thought like, okay, this if she was going to be with a black dude, this is the kind of black dude that she was going to be with. Like Shaquille, I think that he was just too, kiss ass. Yeah, I think Shaquille came off to her at first as, almost like Corey. And I think in the beginning she liked it because she's, hadn't worked much on herself or figured out the issue that she was having as far as her past and, bringing her past into her relationship. But again, before the bonfire, I noticed Aaron, the hardness coming back out of her. And I think it was just so she didn't get hurt because she didn't know what Corey was going to say. And I think that she like pretty much went into the bonfire with that hardness. And until he says, the things that he said to her, as far as, just, basically knowing his own worth and what he is not going to accept from her and how things need to change and that basically she needs to be just as afraid of losing him as he is in her. And you could see when they were talking or when he was talking, the softness, come back. But I think she's definitely going to battle with it because as soon as the new Corey gets home and maybe starts acting as the new confident Corey, she's going to, tense up again because it's going to be like, okay, now, I wanted a guy who was confident, but now that I have a guy that's confident, is he going to leave me or, find somebody else to be with? So the hardness, I think, is still definitely going to, be a factor back and forth. And so when she did say that Juwan said, he was the only guy who could, she couldn't intimidate. I knew it. And I think that that is why she connected with Juwan. And I really think that, well, no, I was going to say possibly that if she would have connected with him, from the beginning, that they might have possibly had something, but I definitely do think she loves Corey, and her reasonings like for being there was very stupid. Every man is not going to be that outgoing, and he's just not the public. I won't say public figure because now he is, but he wasn't before. Like, the nightlife or whatever excited her was not always something that he wanted to do. And I don't understand what she meant by taking the reins of the relationship. Like, if there's something that you like to do and he doesn't, that's not his thing, of course you would take the reins in a relationship because you're going to want to do what you want to do. And then he's going to come along, obviously. So I guess maybe she didn't really think about that, or I'm missing something. But I'm glad that they left together. And I do, wish them to the best, because I think Corey was very respectful in all that he did. And, I hope that she actually sees it and, softens or stays, softer. So, Erica, I wish she had a little bit more time to open up. Like, I wish she had another day to be with Jesse after they kissed and after they, slept, spent the night together. I don't really think much else would have happened, but I think it would have just, more passionate kiss probably would have, happened. A little touchy-feely, that's, about it. But I'm glad that someone else was able to, I'm glad she let someone in and not just like went on random dates, because she never would have really realized all the things that Kendall is not giving her and all the things that Kendall is not going to give her. And, and I'm glad, even though I know she was hurt about it. And I'm sure she is still hurting about it, but I'm glad she's seen him have sex with somebody. And I'm glad that she's seen him have a threesome, because that whatever he claimed he didn't have anything to work on. Their relationship, they realized it was just her. Whatever. So I'm glad she's seen those things, because she would have still been, standoffish to everybody and just would have been going through the process to get through the process and not actually realizing that I deserve better. And this is the type of guy that I always go for. And, that it's also a pattern. Her mom and then her. So Kendall, when he was talking to Tom, I'm pretty sure, and him saying that basically it's hard to open up to Erica emotionally, and it's not hard. He can't show the person who he broke down her and made her insecure his own insecurities, because then it would, she would, if he can say, well, you aren't this, and she can come back and say, well, you ain't that either. But he can't open up to her because he has her where he wants her. Kendall would never be able to handle a confident Erica because she didn't come in the relationship that way. If she would have came in the relationship and she would have wore the pants, then I think he would love the ground she walked on. But because he finds women who he knows he can break down because he's insecure, and then, try to pass off all his insecurities on that person, it's just not going to, the relationship wouldn't work. If the new Erica is going to stay the new Erica, he wouldn't be able to handle it. She needed to come in confident, stay confident, and, stand her ground. But because he was able to break her down, and because he's saying it's so hard to compliment her, why? I mean, in my eyes, Erica is a much more beautiful woman than Alexis. But, I mean, it's not like you can compare the two because there's no similarities. But that's just how I feel. And I guess I'm not a man, but I just think that she's prettier than her. And Alexis, if he would leave with Alexis would, I don't really find Alexis as a very secure person. because the fact that how, she felt when he was off with Nicole. I mean, of course, everybody would get mad about that, but I think that he would be able to break her down that way. And, she would become insecure also because she doesn't have the things that he has. Not like, I don't know what he has, honestly, but, he seems to act like he is, six figure. I won't even finish the rest. But he's not, there's no woman that Kendall is going to be able, that Kendall is going to treat respectfully other than a woman who's going to come in and run shit. That's basically what the only one he is going to be able to love and, have a future with, and or someone just like him, not invested, but we have a title. And I think that that's, kind of his choices, because he's not going to love any or treat respectfully anyone out other than those two type of women. And but I don't think that he's going to want that type of woman. Or if he gets that type of woman and he, I'm just not really sure with Kendall. Like he loves women that he can break down. Not loves them in the sense of, really loving them and because he wouldn't want to break them down. But I think he picks weak or women he knows that he can break down, or he just preys on a weaker woman. And, it's never going to be enough for him unless the two type of women come in his life and run shit. That's just his period. So then when Erica says, I cried so many nights about you having sex with someone else. And, then he goes into, well, there were so many nights that I couldn't sleep because I didn't know how I was going to explain it, because I knew you were going to see it. I knew this was going to happen. But you continue to sleep with someone. So, and I didn't see any of these sleepless nights or any of these moments where you were thinking, when it got closer, kind of. And once she didn't send you the message, that's when you were just like, okay, back and forth, like she's childish, she's not working on herself, da 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 da. Or then you went to, I don't even know how I'm going to explain this, but I know that we can work through this. Like, you really don't have anything to work on. She didn't do the same thing that you did to her. So yeah, your sleepless nights is bullshit. And that was just to, try to wear her down. And I mean, I knew that we weren't going to get their answer last night, but I'm kind of glad we got a little bit of it. And I hope that Erica is able to be strong enough to leave him now and stay gone. Like, girl, if you leave him, don't even go pick up your clothes. Send somebody else to do it, because he's going to have all this lavish stuff waiting on you to, butter you up. And then you'll fall right back into the trap. Girl, leave him. Do not go pick up your clothes. Let somebody else do it. Not like she can hear me, but that's just what I would do. Yeah, so I will be back next week with part 2. Hope that I'm wondering how they're going to do part 2 and the reunion, or is it going to just be that short, or aren't they going to have the reunion and part 2 together? It just seemed that way, possibly to me. But anyway, I'll be back, y'all. Peace.